and to yet another case review. This time it is the H500 from NZXT. You may remember that in one of my previous videos I actually did a build in one of these for a former colleague of mine when I lived in Scotland. But today we're actually just going to do a review of the case itself. I did actually buy this as a clearance item from my local supplier here in Bradford, a company called CCL. There is a part missing out of it, and I have actually been in touch with NZXT or NZXT, however you want to pronounce it. I'm awaiting a reply from them on where I can purchase the missing part. That's why it was sold as a clearance item. I think somebody had bought it and taken it back to them, and there was a part missing, which is why they've sold it on as a clearance. It was roughly about half price because this one piece was missing. I've actually had it out of the box before and had a look over it, and doesn't seem to be anything else missing from the case, and there doesn't seem to be any visible damage. So in the meantime, we'll get the case out of the box and we'll go through the features and benefits of this particular case. First thing we notice, it is a tempered glass side panel. It's not a full side panel, it comes down and stops at where the power supply shroud is. So obviously your power supply, you can't see it from this side of the case, only from the back. So it gives a nice clean look to the case once there's a machine built into it. It is what they call a mid-tower case, but you could still get a full-size ATX board in this case. So I don't know if it takes mini ITX. I haven't actually seen a manual for this in the box, so that may be one other thing that was missing. But I definitely will take a micro ATX and a full ATX, and possibly even an EATX. I'll double check that when I open it up. So yeah, we have the tempered glass side panel on this, which I believe is a 4mm tempered glass side panel. We've got the power supply shroud. In the top, we have a pre-mounted 120mm fan, but as you can possibly see, the slots do extend, so you could put a 140 in the top. You have your microphone and headphone jacks. You have two USB 3.0 ports and your power button. The front panel of the case is just plain, absolutely zero openings. It keeps a nice tidy look. If we go around to the back, there's our opening for the power supply. We have 7 expansion ports here, 2 thumb screws to remove the cover plate to get to your expansion ports, and it does actually come with a screw on each expansion port for locking down whatever you might put in there. We have a 120mm fan in the back as well. To release the glass side panel, it is just simply 1 thumb screw at the top here, which is actually a captive thumb screw, so it won't come out, and then just, it will come out, pop the glass. It's got 2 little lugs here which locate into the case to lock it in, and then it actually sits into a little slot along the front of the case here with 2 little plastic locator lugs to locate the panel into the case. So while we've got the side panel off, which I will put down to one side, we can take a look inside the case. So first thing, nice big opening at the back for your mount, for your back plate for your CPU. We have what's called the beauty bar. They do these in 2 or 3 different colours. This is the blue one. They do a red one. They do a white case, which has a white bar as well, so it gives it a nice clean look. This actually bar here covers the opening into the back area for your cable management, so you can bring things like your 24-pin ATX. And in the top here, through the back here, you have your opening here to bring in your 4-pin or 8-pin EPS for your power supply. You have a couple of large openings here for bringing bottom cables through, such as your USB headers, your front panel headers, etc, etc. Now I've actually taken one of these out and put it in the back, but SSD mounts, toolless clipping in. You just need to put your 4 little screws in to hold the SSDs or any 2.5-inch drives into these little mounts, and they can be mounted anywhere across the top of the power supply shroud, which has all these little perforations, so the drives just clip in place. Nice and easy fitting. You do actually get two of these. Like I say, I have put one in the back when I had the case out of the box the other day. So that's basically the interior. Now the part that's missing, there's meant to be a mounting frame here for taking either a 120 or a 240mm pair of fans, or a 240 or 280mm water cooling radiator to go in here. But that particular bracket is the piece that's missing from this particular case, and that's what I'm waiting to hear back from NZXT for, to see whether or not I'm able to acquire that panel, because without that I can't mount any front cooling in. All I'm left with is the rear and top exhaust fans. So that's basically the interior of the front of the case. We now move around to the back. Again, two thumb screws, and again they are captive thumb screws, and we pull those out. The case itself at the front has three little ring lugs which locate onto three little hooks just here, here and here, so that you clip the case into here and then fold the panel backwards. Now on the back side of the case we have a ventilation here for drawing air in when you've got your fans in the front, which has a removable dust filter which can be taken out and cleaned. So that's your front ventilation. On the rear side here, as you can see, there's your opening where your cables come through from the back area. There's the other SSD mounting point I said about. You've got very good cable management on this case. You've got channels up here which route cables, so if you bring in your, say, your 24 pin up, you can bring it up here, route it round and then drop it into the back of the case. Velcro tie downs, but there are also plenty of other tie downs in the case. You've also got routing along the back and across the top for running, say, fan wires. Up here you would run your EPS cable to run it through. There's actually a little tie down point here, so you could run your 4-pin or 8-pin EPS up the side, along the top, tie it off here and then feed it into the back of the case for plugging into your motherboard. Again, plenty of other tie down points along the front here. There's your opening where your ventilation will feed into your fans. We have fixing kit, comes with the board. Now down here we have 3.5-inch drive bay which can take 2 drives. If we look on the bottom of the case, that's actually held in place by 4 screws. That drive bay can be moved backwards and forwards, because if you decide to put a 360mm radiator in here, which will actually go through because the opening for radiators does go right through to the bottom, you could move this drive bay back to accommodate your radiator and fans. Okay, so that's basically it. Well, obviously we've got all the normal cables that come down from the front panel and from your fans that are running here. So on the bottom of the case we have a slide in, slide out dust filter. It will slide out for the power supply. Obviously your power supply, mount in here, mount it fan side down so that it draws its air in, but the air is filtered so you don't get blockage up on your power supply. So other than that, I think that's about everything I can show you on the case. Like I say, I have built in one of these a couple of months ago, and it was really enjoyable to build in. It was a really nice, easy case to build into, and I'm seriously considering, when I rebuild my workstation PC, instead of using the AVP X6 case, which I was going to use, if I can get the part for this case relatively soon, I may use this for my workstation instead of the X6. If not, if it takes a while to get the part for this, then when I do the rebuild video of the workstation, you'll see me do it in that. You probably can see down here as well, I've got that AVP Hyperion small form factor case. That's going to be my HTPC, and that will probably be the next video that I upload, is the build of that particular case. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please pop a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified when the next video goes up, and we'll see you in the next video.